Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for subscribing and for checking out my video, my VSG video. In that video, I was basically just talking about my pre-op and my very early post-op experience. Like I was still on pain pills in that video. I was, not 100% there, but I really wanted to, make that content for you all. People who are looking into VSG, gastric sleeve surgery. I really wanted to get that out there because those videos were helpful for me. And maybe I shared a little bit of information that might help you in your decision with proceeding or not proceeding with the surgery. So that was important for me to make, and I knew that I wanted to make that. And so now I am officially 1 month post-op. I was four weeks post-op on a few days ago, and as of yesterday, I am 1 month post-op. So I kind of just wanted to talk with you guys about what I've experienced the past month and how things have been for me. Overall, very, very good. So weeks 1 and 2, I was basically recovering. I was still on summer vacation from work. And so I was just taking it easy. I was resting, I was walking around. I walked around my neighborhood. I walked around my house. And I took it easy for the most part. I wasn't lifting anything over 10 pounds. I'm still not lifting. I don't know how long that restriction is. I believe it says in my binder, but I'm just kind of really taking it easy for the first 6 weeks. So I do take walks around my neighborhood and stuff like that, but I'm not lifting heavy stuff. So my son helped me get my classroom together this year. I did that right around 2 weeks post-op. And I was feeling really, really good. I went back to work at 2 weeks, and I also started Puree Foods just a couple of days after I went back to work, and that was good. Some of the first things I tried were, I tried this ricotta bake. That was really good. If you guys want the recipe for that, let me know. It's a bariatric recipe. I was so excited to try it. It was really good. I also tried refried beans. So I could basically have like puree foods. I tried like blended up really finely chicken salad, egg salad. I could have scrambled eggs on the pureed without having to puree them in any way. I can have string cheese. And so soups, all the things I could have from the liquid phase, I could still have there as well. So those were just, some things that stand out to me. Oh, I made a really good buffalo chicken dip. I just ate it plain without like crackers or chips or anything like that. That was really good. Also another bariatric recipe. So if you guys want me to share those recipes with you, let me know, and I could probably even link them below. Those were really good things to start off with. And then on week 3, things were pretty much the same. So I was still on pureed foods and, every day just getting better. My incisions are healing really well. I've got 4, I believe I have 4 incisions, I think. Pretty sure I have 4, no more than 5 for sure. One is right underneath my bra line, like on my sternum area. That one was the one where the glue came off first because it was rubbing against my bra when I stopped wearing sports bras and I started wearing real clothes and bras again. That one came off first, but it's healing fine. All my other incisions are healing pretty well. No complaints about that. They gave me this special soap when I was in the hospital. It's like a foaming antiseptic soap. And she just had me use it while I was there, but they gave me this whole big bottle. So every time I take a shower, I just put a little in my hand and I rub it over my incision area. All the glue has come off now, and everything is doing well. So I don't know if that helped or contributed in any way. It was something I kind of just did, just because I felt like it was appropriate. I never scrubbed them like with a rag or anything like that, and I never picked on my glue. The glue came off all on its own, but when I was just in the shower, you know, at the end of my shower, I would take a little bit of that soap and I would just kind of pat it on the incisions, and then I would just let it rinse off. So that was what I did. Week 4, I started soft foods. And at this point, you know, this is where you're pretty much able to eat, you know, vegetables that are very well cooked and soft. You can have lots of meats. You just have to chew very well. So I would say, I mean, with regard to the fact that you just had VSG surgery, on the soft foods phase, I mean, I'm pretty much eating whatever I would like within reason. So of course I'm not eating like fast food. I'm not, you know, I'm not even craving those things. You know, in the beginning I was having very bad cravings, like the first week. And I was looking at what everybody else was eating. You know, I was on full liquids at that time. So I was pretty much just eating soup and broth, and, you know, my family, they were eating all kinds of things. And I was just like, the head hunger, I just really wanted to taste those things. I even, you know, I would chew it and spit it out, and that's a horrible habit and I do not recommend it at all, but I definitely did that a couple times. You know, I licked a couple Doritos, and I do not recommend that for you, you know, but don't do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. You know, I don't recommend those things, but those things, I feel like they helped me get through that really tough transition period, because I really did have a hard time, and I'll just be completely honest with you, with full liquids. I mean, it was an overnight thing, and I think my body had not adjusted yet to, you know, not being able to eat whatever I wanted to eat like I had been my whole life. So I would say after week 1, those cravings went away. They really just did. I'm not even craving the kinds of things that I did prior to surgery at all. You know, and I think that just has to do with your body adjusting to the hormone changes and things like that, because when they cut that part of your stomach off, they, you know, it cuts out your hunger. I think part of your hunger hormone, I think that's called ghrelin. I'm not 100% sure if I'm saying that correctly, but that's something that we learned in the class, that you have this hormone shift and things can taste a little different. Like I have tried some little bitty bites of things that I might have liked before, and they like taste chemically, I don't know, your taste changes a little bit from what I can tell so far. So for me, that's been my experience. I'm not having lots of food cravings, and I'm, you know, that it makes it a little bit easier to stay on track with what you're supposed to do. So yeah, week 4, I started soft foods. I can have most foods within reason, as long as I chew really well. So chewing is very important. You know, I have gotten sick a couple times. I won't lie. I have, just over the weekend, I had something that I could technically have on my plan, but I was just hungry. I waited a little bit too long to eat, and I ate a little bit too fast, and it just, you know, I felt it in my chest, and I tried to walk around. You know, things kind of feel like they get stuck here if you eat too quickly or you don't chew well enough. And I was just kind of walking around. Sometimes that helps kind of bring it down for me. But I was walking around, and I was just like, this isn't going away. This feeling isn't going away. I started feeling very like, oh, and I did vomit then. I also vomited about a week prior to that also. Some grilled chicken that I also, like, I waited a little bit too long to eat. I got a little excited and ate it a little bit too fast, and it came out. But that second time was worse. And so it's pretty self-correcting. I mean, now in the back of my head, it's like, I don't want to throw up. I don't want to feel sick. I don't want to feel bad. I've never experienced like a dumping syndrome type situation yet. Thank goodness. You know, I've stayed away from sugar, and I think that's a big contributor to dumping syndrome. But I did get sick, particularly bad that second time. And so if I had any advice for someone in the same stage as me, or even beyond or before, it's definitely chew, definitely take your time, and don't rush it. And it's not something that's easy. For me, I find that if I do better, if I'm eating, the appropriate number of times a day, so at least 3, but also maybe with a couple snacks in the middle, so like a hard-boiled egg or a string cheese in between your meals, that also helps. But like if I wait until, like if I decide to sleep in on the weekend and I wake up late and I'm busy doing stuff around the house, and then I forget to eat for a little while, then all of a sudden it clicks and I'm starving. And when I get food, I just want to gobble it up. And you can't do that. You just can't do that. You can't physically do that. And also I think the fact that you can't drink and eat at the same time, you're supposed to wait 30 minutes after you eat to drink. You can't really wash food down well. So you have to chew. And that's kind of been where I'm at with that, but I've learned my lesson. From here on out, I'm going to chew and slow down. I also bought some special utensils from Amazon. They're like bariatric utensils, so they're smaller. So it encourages you to take smaller bites. I also have some 2-ounce little cups that I'm going to use to portion my food out. I'm kind of sick of eating out of measuring cups. And so I've got some smaller containers that, they look full, even if it's small, and it's like a mental thing. I think that will help. As far as like what I've been eating, like I said, pretty much what I want, that goes along with the diet. So meat, vegetables, fruit. I had some strawberries today. I'm allowed to have fruit. Let me look at my meal plan here. I had meatloaf last week, just a little bit, but of course I use like sugar-free ketchup, and I'm really trying to make things, that I would normally eat and that my kids still eat, but that are healthier versions, or bariatric versions. So on puree, or no, I'm not on pureed anymore. On soft foods, there's tons of stuff that you can have. Yeah, so this is actually, it's called modified soft. And I just have a huge list of things that I'm able to have. Most fruits, most vegetables. I can have coffee, I can have milk. I don't really have those things. I've had coffee once since I went back to work. So yeah, for the most part, I've just been, just eating regular things within reason. Now week 3, unfortunately, after being back to work for a week, I did get COVID for the second time. That was hard. The first time I had COVID was in September of 2021. And I had it really bad. I was sick for 2 weeks. I was in bed. It was absolutely horrendous. I couldn't keep food down. I was coughing so hard that I was vomiting up everything. My husband had it. It was pretty bad. I don't know if my kids had it. We didn't test them. My son had like a headache for a couple days around that time. I think for the most part, my girls were okay. But that was a really tough time, but we made it through. And I did get it again 1 week after going back to teaching. So it was a lot better for me this time. I don't want to say it was good, but my work best friend, she texted me last week on, Wednesday night, and she said she tested positive, and I didn't even know she was sick like that day at work. I had no idea. She didn't say anything. She seemed totally normal. And then that Thursday, I went to work and I just felt horrible all day. I was freezing cold. I even went down, I'm a teacher. I went to the nurse's office. I had her take my temp. My temp was fine. I had no appetite. I was just felt exhausted. When I'd stand up, I'd get a headache. I felt like I had, I don't know, severe flu or something. It was horrible. So I went home that night. I ordered a COVID test through Instacart, and I tested positive. So I had to be out of work for 5 days. So I went back to work that next Tuesday, and I was feeling fine. The worst of it was that first day, that Thursday. And then Friday morning, you know, I was home. I think by Saturday I had developed a mild cough, and then I really just progressed every day better. I mean, I'm totally fine now. You know, it's not even been a week since I got it, and I feel fine. I feel fine now. So it was not as bad the second time as it was the first time at all. But I don't know if I've said this already. I'm looking at my notes here. I have stayed away from bread and carbonation. So I did have a little bit of a low carb tortilla one day. I made like a little quesadilla with low fat cheese and rotisserie chicken. And I really could only eat like a bite of that tortilla. I mean, I'm just staying away from bread. You can't eat very much. So, I can only have a few bites of food anyway. And bread just kind of like, it stays in your chest. It doesn't go down well. It's just not a pleasant even thing to experience. So I've stayed away from bread. I've not had or even tried pop yet or any kind of carbonated drinks. I've pretty much strictly just drinking water. Today I had a little bit of sugar-free Minute Maid, but that was it. I've mostly just completely stuck to water. I bought a couple of hydro jugs before I went back to work, and those have helped me to, you know, remember to drink and keep it enough fluid. So I've not had any trouble with dehydration. I know that is a thing. As far as vitamins go, I'm doing okay with them. I'm trying to take them as consistently as possible. There are days when I don't want my multivitamin, so it's a chewable bariatric multivitamin, and it is just disgusting. It turns my stomach now. So I have been splitting my regular pre-op multivitamin in half, and I've been taking that. When I split it, it is about the same size as the gallbladder medication that they prescribe everyone after bariatric surgery. So I think that it's okay to switch back to regular vitamins now for me. I haven't asked about it, but I know that I've been swallowing that Actigol, half of that Actigol pill since surgery, and you know, since I had surgery. So I don't see why it would be an issue, but you know, obviously before you do that, it would probably be best to ask your doctor. I'm not a doctor, I'm just a regular person. You know, so I wouldn't take my advice on that. If you're having trouble with your multivitamin, you know, there are plenty of other options. I've spent so much money on vitamins, and I have these, you know, regular multis that I was taking pre-op. So I decided that it would be best to take them versus nothing. But my iron, I'm still taking that. My calcium chewables, I'm still taking those. And obviously my thyroid medicine and my gallbladder medicine. So I'm taking all of those things. Not every day, I don't take all of them. Sometimes I forget in the evening. I'm not perfect at it, but I would say overall, I'm doing pretty well. Now, as far as weight loss goes, I am down, as of today, I'm down 35.8 pounds in a month. That is crazy, I know. I'm so excited about that. I'm feeling better. I have a lot more energy, just even around my house. Like, I get off of work, I still have energy to play with my kids, to take a walk my dog, clean the house. I've been cooking every single day. You know, we're not eating out at all pretty much anymore. We did this weekend a couple times, but as far as during the week goes, our normal, I cook. I'm also down 15 3/4 inches. So I was given a chart to measure myself that came with my binder, and I did that at 2 weeks, and then I did it again at 1 month. So pre-op, my neck was 18.5 inches. At 2 weeks, it was 17 inches. So I had lost 1.5 inches just in 2 weeks. And now it is 16.5 inches. So that's 2 inches off my neck. My chest, probably the biggest loss, honestly. It started at 56 1/4 inch. It is now 50.5 inches. My waist was 48. It is now 46 inches. My hips were 59.5. They are now 56.5. And my arms were both 20 inches and they are now 18.5 inches around. So I bought like a measuring tape. I just kind of keep it in my binder in the back so I don't lose it. And I'll be measuring my inches. It has a spot for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, and then the total at the end. And then obviously it goes all the way down to a year. So I think this is a good tool. I mean, I haven't been weighing myself every day. I probably do every other day, every couple days. Just because I didn't want to like become obsessed with or disappointed if I didn't lose for one day. So that's kind of where my head has been with that. But I did weigh myself today. I'm down 35.8 pounds. That is awesome. That is something that I've never done completely on my own. Obviously I had surgery, so I have that help. But you know, without diet pills, I've never lost that much weight in a certain time. So I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for making healthier choices now. You know, when you have this surgery, yes, you have a restriction. You can't eat as much as you could, but it's still up to you at a certain point to make the right decisions. And I've totally just changed my focus on it. And I think having the cravings curbed and the hunger calmed down, it helps you to make those correct decisions so that you are choosing food that fuels you and not just because it tastes good. So those are like my thoughts for my first month pre-op. I'll do my best to come back. Maybe I'll do 1.5 months. I might just stick with, monthly updates. I think that's best for me. I have a super busy schedule. I've got kids in sports and all different kinds of things. So if you are new, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for watching and, listening to my videos and, interacting with me. I loved it. I do my best to respond to the comments and all of that. So thank you so much for sticking around with me and following me in my journey. And if you are also going through this journey, link your channel below. Let me know, how you're doing. I would love to follow your journey as well because we are in this together. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.